Welcome, yogis. So this will just be a short, gentle practice for all of you looking for a bit more of a gentle practice. We'll be on the ground the whole time, so no standing poses. I do have a blanket underneath me right now. Any blanket will do, even a pillow would work fine. You may decide that you'd like a couple of blocks as well. If you don't have blocks, that's okay. Finding whatever around the house or whatever is around you that could substitute in, just to bring the ground a little bit higher for you, that would work. So cans of vegetables, books, even a couple of pillows or blankets stacked on top of the other, that works too. So whatever you can find, okay? And then go ahead and bring yourself into a comfortable seat, whatever shape for the legs. Mine are crossed, yours don't need to be if that's not comfortable for you. And then when you arrive in that shape, just allow the eyes to close. Take a few deep breaths. And just allow yourself to arrive. To arrive on your mat, within the practice. Start noticing the body, how it's feeling. Noticing the breath. And then we take one hand onto the heart and just start to tune in right into the heart space. And then as you release the hand, keep that awareness. And we'll take the arms, sweep them up over the head. Nice big stretch here. Root down through the sit bones as you lengthen up through the entire body. And then as you exhale, right palm comes down, left arm over the ear. Big stretch for the side body. Inhale, bring yourself back to center. And then exhale, left palm down, right arm over the ear. Keep both hips rooted. Inhale, rise back up. And then exhale, we're going to twist over the right shoulder. So right palms come behind you. Left hand onto the thigh. Just ease your way here. All right. So inhale, lift up through the crown of the head. And then exhale, twist over the right shoulder. Continue to breathe. And then inhale, unwind, arms reach up top. Exhale, twist over the left shoulder. Again, inhaling to lengthen up the spine all the way out to the crown of the head, like there's a little string at the crown of your head and somebody's lifting it up, pulling you taller. And then exhale, twist a little deeper. Inhale, unwind. Exhale, bring your palms together at your heart center. So we'll go ahead and release the hands. Take the soles of the feet together here. So you're welcome to take blocks or whatever you're using as a block underneath the knees or the thighs, just to add a little bit of extra support if that's what your body's needing right now. So take those there if you like, or not. It's your practice. Do what you need for your own body. And then sitting up nice and tall. Draw the shoulders down the back. Take a moment here. Soften through the legs and thighs. Soften through the hips. And then take the fingertips behind you. As you inhale, lift and open the heart space. And then exhale, hands to the ankles or shins, round the back, draw the chin to the chest. So a little seated cat-cow. Inhale, hands behind you, lift and open the heart space. Exhale, round the back. One more time, inhale, lift, open the heart, spread the collarbones. And this time as you exhale, we'll take the hands in front of you and you can start to just walk yourself forward. Finding a spot that works for you. Okay, so nice big stretch for the inner thighs here. The head can hang heavy if you like. Might feel nice just to give it a gentle nod, yes. And then a gentle shake, no. Take a couple more breaths here in your cobbler. And then begin to walk the hands towards the body. Press into the palms and slowly roll yourself up. Take the hands to the outside of the knees, bring them together, and then we'll extend the legs out in front of us. So my feet are flexed, toes are drawing in towards the body. Still seated up nice and tall. And just take the hands alongside of you. Draw the shoulder blades down the back so that they're away from the ears. Back of the neck is long, so you might find a slight tuck of the chin here. Draw the belly button in. So it's almost as if you're trying to get these low ribs in closer to one another. So if you can access that at the same time as you draw the shoulder blades down the back. And then take an inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. And then exhale, hinge from the hips. Release the hands when you'd like. Keep a long spine here. Okay, so we're not rounding through the back. We're still keeping the chest and heart open. And we're reaching through the crown of the head. One more breath in. And then on your breath out, slowly make your way back upright. We'll bend both knees and then just hug them into the chest. Allow the back to round over the legs. And lift the head. And we'll start to make our way onto hands and knees. So coming to tabletop pose, keep your blocks near the top of your mat. And then you can take a blanket underneath the knees. Just to give yourself a little bit more comfort there in our tabletop pose. So press the fingers down into the mat. Press the toenails down into the mat. That will help to lift the belly slightly, activating your core. And pause here for a moment. Feel the strength. Really tap into that, even here in tabletop pose.
And then on your next inhale, take the right arm to reach for the sky.
Take a moment, circle out the wrists. And then inhale, lengthen the fingertips up. And then we'll circle the arm back towards the heels. Fingertips brush the mat, reaching it forward. And then let's do 2 more circles just like that. 1 more. And then we'll meet with the arm reaching towards the sky. And then we'll thread the right arm underneath the left, lowering the shoulder down, lowering the right temple to your mat. You can keep that right hand planted alongside the face, or maybe you walk the fingertips out and extend the arm, coming into thread the needle pose. And then walk the hand back alongside the face, press into the palm, unwind, take that right arm to reach for the sky 1 more time. And then return it back to your mat. Come back into your tabletop pose. And this time we'll send the left arm to reach for the sky. Lengthen it up, circle out the wrists, one direction and then the other. And then reach fingertips towards the sky. And then send the arm back towards the heel. Fingertips brush the mat. Reach the arm forward and up, back to the mat. 1 more big circle. And then reach the fingertips back up towards the sky. Open up the chest to the side wall. And then thread the left arm underneath the right. Again, left palm can stay planted or extend the arm. Return the hand alongside the face. Press into the palm. Unwind. Take the left arm to reach tall. And then set it back down. So go ahead and come all the way up onto the knees here. Hands come to the hips. And we'll take the right foot, step it out in front of you. Okay, so the right knee is bent here. Take a moment here. You can stay as you are. If this feels best for your body, stay here. If you'd like to take it a little deeper, you can start to allow the hips to sink towards the mat. As you do that, keep the belly dry and the tailbone heavy. That will protect the low back. Hands can come to the thigh. Or if you'd like to take hands onto blocks, you can take your blocks underneath the hands. I like them at the highest setting. That way my chest is nice and open here. Okay? Breathe into this lunge. Shoulders still drawing down the back. Take one more breath in. And then exhale, shift the hips back, slide the right foot back. And then we'll come back onto the knees, hands come to the hips. We'll do the other side. Okay, this time left foot steps forward. So take a moment here. Drop the tailbone, find that feeling. And then decide if you'd like to stay here or let the hips sink a little bit deeper. Okay, so if you do decide to sink, you're gonna feel that stretch a little more in the front of the right hip, where that right hip flexor is. And again, you can take the hands onto the thigh or maybe onto those blocks. We're still drawing the shoulders away from the ears. And the tailbone is still heavy. Even if you've
taking this stretch a little bit deeper. If you have blocks or pillows or anything under your hands, try not to grip them. Just gently place them on top of the blocks, and that will prevent from gathering tension in the wrists and the fingers, right? We don't want to add tension to our practice. We're trying to let it go. So take one more breath in this lunge. And then start to lift the hips, shift them back. Drag the left foot back. Take your blocks off of your mat if they're there. We'll draw the big toes together. Allow the knees to come a little bit wider. Hips reach for the heels as you fold over the legs. You can come into a child's pose. So if the forehead doesn't quite meet the mat, that's okay. You can take that block right underneath the forehead. If you don't have blocks, you can stack fists one on top of the other, and that will help to ground you. And then find your awareness. Bring it into the back body. Soften the lower back. And then let the breath travel the length of the spine. One more breath in your child's pose. If you've decided to stack the hands, go ahead and re-extend the arms. Lift the hips. We're going to curl the toes under. We're going to come into one downward facing dog. So curl the toes under, press the fingertips down into your mat, and then lift the knees, hips reach for the sky. Find that downward facing dog. If you want to take a moment, you can pedal out the feet, bending one knee and then the other. You're welcome to wiggle the hips from side to side. Maybe bend and straighten both knees at the same time. Just whatever might feel great for you here to bring you into stillness as you're ready. And when you find that stillness, find your awareness. Tune into the breath. Noticing each inhale and each exhale. We'll be here for one more round of breath. Full breath in. Full breath out. And then lower the knees down to your mat once again. If you have a blanket here, go ahead and just move that off to the side. And make your way onto the belly. And curl the toes so that the tops of the feet are down. Arms are alongside the body, hands underneath the shoulders here. Hug the elbows in towards the rib cage and press the elbows down towards your mat. You'll start to feel the chest become a little more open. Draw the belly button up from the mat just a bit. And then inhale, lift the head, the neck, the heart. So rising into a baby cobra. Elbows are still hugging in towards the ribs and down towards the mat. That will help you to lift a bit higher. Press the toenails down. Breathe. Gaze down at the mat. Keep the back of the neck long here. Take one more breath in. And then slowly release. Return back to the earth. Stack the hands. Take a cheek just for a moment. You can bend the knees. And then just let them fall gently from side to side in a windshield wiper motion. Releasing the low back. And then we'll return the hands back underneath the shoulders and just peel the body up from your mat. And we'll come back into a seated position. So I'll recommend taking the blanket back under your hips if you had that already. Extend the legs. We'll bend the right knee. Flex the left foot. Hug the right knee in. Tall spine here. Take an inhale. Hug the knee in with that left arm. And as you exhale, we'll gently twist over the right shoulder. Right hand comes behind you. Take a breath in, a breath out to unwind. And we'll cross the right ankle over the left thigh here. Okay, coming to like a figure four. Both feet are flexed now. So now we're filling this into the outer hip area. This might be enough to just stay here. If you need to take it a bit deeper, start to bend the left knee and the sole of the left foot will come to your mat. Okay, try to keep a tall spine as you come into this shape. If you need to take it deeper, you can take the left heel in towards the body a bit more. Okay, I like to take my hand onto the knee and to the foot, and that actually helps me stay a little bit more upright. But if you prefer, you can take the hands behind you and stay there, okay? So however you've decided to take this pose, take a moment, allow the body to feel it. Notice the sensations. Take one more breath in and breath out. And then just gently lean back, uncross the legs, and extend both legs once again. If you need to give them a little shake, go ahead. Okay. And this time we'll keep the right leg extended. Flex the foot so the toes are drawing in towards your body. Bend the left knee. Right arm will hug it in. Take an inhale, lift up through the crown of the head. And then exhale, left fingertips come behind you. Find a little twist here. Keep breathing. Take one more inhale. And then on your exhale, gently unwind. So this time we'll cross left ankle over the right thigh. Foot is flexed. Again, you have the option to stay here. You can always add that block underneath the left leg for some extra support if you decide to stay here. If you'd like to take that deeper, you can start to bend into the right knee. Okay, bringing the right foot to your mat, or maybe just your heel. Okay, and you can either, again, take the hands onto the foot into the knee, or maybe take the hands behind you. And just draw the right heel closer to the body as much as you need to feel that stretch for the left hip this time. And then as you're here, breathe, notice. One more breath in. Breath out. Lean back just a bit to unwind. Extend the legs, give them a little shake. And then we'll go ahead and start to find our way into a comfortable seat. So you're welcome to come back to a cross-legged seat if that feels best for you. Maybe crossing the legs the opposite way you did at the beginning of the practice, but it's not necessary. If you want to come onto the knees, you can do that. And when you arrive in that seated position, close the eyes.
Turn the attention onto the body. Find the tall spine. Soften the shoulders from the ears. Reach the crown of the head towards the sky. Keep the back of the neck long. So you may find you have to pull the chin in just a bit. And then turn the awareness from the body onto the breath. Just noticing each inhale and each exhale. And then start to imagine a glowing ball of light. And as you take an inhale, that light grows a bit bigger. And as you exhale, it returns back to its shape. Inhale, we see that expansion of the light. And we exhale, we see the contraction. So follow that ball of light, matching its expansion and contraction with your breath. And then we'll take a breath in through the nose. And then just sigh it out through the mouth. And then we'll take our palms together at our heart. And I'll offer you a mantra that is one of my favorites in the yoga tradition. And it says, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. And it loosely translates to may all beings be happy and free. Sending you all love, happiness, and freedom. Thanks for practicing with me. Namaste.